This episode of Vibrant Living is brought to you by Link Transit. Take that first step. Learn how to ride. And Blossom Valley, a senior lifestyle community. Join our Blossom Valley family and experience a fulfilling, carefree senior lifestyle.
My name is Penny Peterson. I'm the kitchen manager here at the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And as everybody knows, we are not open for any activities other than our thrift store. So my normal job is to take care of the kitchen, but seeing how we're not open, Dave found out that I can paint. So he's been keeping me busy doing some extra painting that we've been putting off for a long time. So we're all excited about this new painting, and when we do open, everybody's gonna be really surprised. It'll be a nice surprise for everybody. So in the meantime, I'd like to show you around some of the things I've been doing, and ready to go. Let's take off up towards the stage. There's actually a closet up here that the exercise group uses. So this room really needed to be painted. And here we go. Come on in. See, it's storage and furnace room. So we come in here, and this was really it was really bad. So we had some leftover paint. Actually, we mixed this paint up for the social hall. We didn't like it, so we decided to use this in the closets and places that are not real obvious or used much. So got this all done, floor's all clean, ready for them to come back and put stuff away the way they want to put it. So this is all done. This room here I'm pretty proud of because I don't know if anybody remembers, but this wall back here had two pretty big holes in it. So I was able to patch and repair those holes before I painted it. So it turned out really nice. Gotta say, I'm pretty proud of myself for doing that. But this looks good. It needed it too, very bad. So there's this one. Let's go back to another one that I painted. This would be the coat closet. We are actually not quite done with this room. We are going to get some corner pieces, as you can see, and some trim down below, and then we'll get some more metal strips for the corners. But as far as the painting part goes, this part's all done. It's looking good as well. Very pleased with it. And then eventually, we will clean this room out and I can get this one painted. I don't know, Russ, if you can see in here. This one will be a next project to get it painted. And the floor's all cleaned up really nice in here. So we've got this to do. The last project I did was back in here. I'll take you to the beginning. Or I should say the end. This is the last one. Russ just caught me painting in here. And I don't know if you guys all remember, but this was this yellow color. So normally I take these little covers off and paint around them, but I decided to leave this one. So as a nice little reminder is what color this was before.
Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Today I'm with Robin Aamodt. I got it right. And I want to welcome Robin to talk with us today about WVSAC. Well, what is WVSAC? Well, Wenatchee Area Genealogical Society.
Yes.
If I got that right.
Yes.
Boy, I'm on a roll here.
Yeah.
So, Robin, just tell us, what is WVSAC? What's it all about?
Oh, it's an awesome group to get together, to learn things, to inspire you to do more genealogy and family history research. And I've been a member since 2010, which is when I also moved here to actually East Wenatchee. And it's been great.
Is this just a local organization, or are you within a larger organization, maybe a national organization? How's all that?
It's more of a local, like, the Wenatchee, Valley area.
Okay.
But we have been able to do Zoom meetings in some ways with people that are, in other parts of the states and the world, country, I should say.
Okay.
So.
Well, I know you've got a personal interest. You've already shown me some of the things that
Yeah.
you've done for your own family,
Yeah.
which has been really interesting. I know that there are people out there that probably would like to get started. So what would be your recommendation on how someone that wanted to get started on looking up their family history and all of that, how would they do that?
Well, one of my favorite things is actually getting your DNA tested. But there are other options, and one of them is actually like you could join WAGs and you can go online, and once you're a member, you can actually get different websites that you can do family history, research on. Like especially if you already know like your parents' names and ideally your grandparents' names. It can really help, and then you can find out their siblings, their brothers or sisters. Sometimes their other spouses, their kids, their grandkids, and it's just awesome.
Would you mind mentioning you have a website or where someone could look you guys up and contact somebody?
Actually, well, their phone number, if you want to call them and ask some questions, 509-888-6246. But the website is wags-web.org.
Okay.
So and it's
Pretty
great.
simple.
Yeah, it is, and you can just get a lot of great information. It can really inspire you to find, more family in your tree and stuff.
So when you do have a meeting, what do you do? I mean, you just compare notes, or what?
We kind of learn different things that what other people have done and have learned, and that's one of the things that I want to talk about.
Sure.
The things that I've learned, and actually. One of the things, again, is to do your DNA and get tested. And I've tested with 23andMe, Ancestry, Family Tree DNA, and MyHeritage. And it's been so interesting because I've also tested my parents, my brother and my sister, my husband, his mom and dad, our daughter. And it's been so interesting to learn, how we are all connected to a degree,
Okay.
So.
Well, you've shown me a few things. You want to talk a little more detail?
Sure, yeah. So I will just read some of my notes here. Like,
Sure.
as an example, with Family Tree DNA, which actually was the first company that I tested with, probably almost 10 years ago. It was a while ago. I now have 3,793 matches with them. With 23andMe, I have 1,514 matches. With MyHeritage, I have 13,536 matches. And with Ancestry DNA, I have 33,046 matches. But my favorite company is MyHeritage. And part of the main reason is because so many people from Europe test with MyHeritage. And again, I've got 13,536 with them, but so many are from Europe. And I actually had gotten my great aunt tested because unfortunately all of my grandparents had died years ago, like way before I was even able to get DNA tested. But my great aunt was still alive. I got her tested, and she was in her 90s, and I fortunately got her tested about three months before she unfortunately died. But because of that, I now know that I've got a lot of people from Finland. And I had no idea that I had people from Finland at all, but because of that DNA testing, I have so many, third, fourth, and fifth cousins from Finland, and I've never been there, but now I'd love to go there. So, and so let's see what else I said. So I've got, one thing from MyHeritage, I've got 2,731 matches with people from Norway. And I actually, when I got married, I honeymooned in Norway, and I had connected with a guy who's my fifth cousin because I'd been doing DNA research. And one thing I should say is, some of you will know I'm from Seattle, and I actually did a genealogy and family history certificate program at the University of Washington back in 2008, 2009. And I connected with this guy who's from Norway. Again, he's my fifth cousin. And when we, honeymooned there, we stayed with them for 3 days, got to meet more of their family and more cousins, and got to learn about, a lot about Norway, and which is so neat because I do have people from Norway on my mom and my dad's side. So it was just really neat to do that. But also what's neat about my heritage is that, again, I have that connection with people from Norway, but I also have 1,262 matches with people from Sweden, 382 from Great Britain, 220 from Denmark, and down the list, like 158 from Canada, and 135 from Australia. I'm like, whoa! I've never been to Australia, nor did I know I had people from Australia. But it's kind of neat. So
yeah. So your family has moved over here. Let's say trickled over here over the years.
Yeah, roughly around 2003, I think.
Yeah,
So.
and wound up in Wenatchee. Love the area.
Yeah.
It's a small community. I'm always amazed to get to talking to somebody, and well, just you yesterday when we spoke, I realized your Uncle Bob Smith has been a volunteer here at the Senior Center for years, participating in our craft fair.
Yeah.
As well as you participating.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think Bob Smith was one of those that had helped us remodel our thrift store several years back. And so anyway, it's kind of interesting to talk to folks in the community and learn about their family and all the interactions that there are here at the Senior Center.
Yeah.
But anyway, what else can you talk about with?
Well, actually, I was just going to say one thing about, my aunt and uncle being in, to doing that, craft fairs and stuff, because, again, I was so into genealogy and family history that I actually reached out to my grandma and said, do you have any family members that I've never met? And so she actually reached out to a cousin of hers that I had never met, but because of her, she inspired me how to make jewelry. And so, like, all the earrings and necklaces that I make, she inspired me to do that. I mean, even my bracelet here. I mean, it was so awesome, and that's why, because of her, that I have a lot of jewelry that I've made. That I also now do craft fairs and stuff. So that's why it's neat also to get to really know your family members, and they can inspire you to learn things and to do things, and so yeah, that was really awesome. But let's see.
You were going to talk about the Roots Magic Wags group.
Oh yeah, Roots Magic Wags group. I mean, it is a small group. Like, there's sometimes only been 5 of us, sometimes about 10 of us. But it's been awesome to get together with them, because it's inspired us to learn more, in some ways, about the other country, or not countries, the different, DNA programs and stuff that people have used, and we can really learn things about each other, and
I highly recommend kind of a branch off of the
It is,
the
yeah.
Wags.
Yeah, it's a branch off of the Wags, and we used to get together once a month, and unfortunately, coronavirus, we couldn't do it last year at all, but and who knows this year, hopefully at some point. But it was a great group to get together with, and so yeah, hopefully we'll get to do it again.
Now, I've been just in the last few days, it's amazing how this works sometimes, but I've heard about Google Alerts.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just amazing to me. I've never even heard about it up until a couple of days ago. In fact, it was after we had already scheduled this interview.
Yeah.
So tell us about Google Alerts.
Google Alerts is awesome. I mean, because I get generally sometimes about once a day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes none. But I get these emails from Google that basically tells me in some ways that somebody died. And I basically had initially just done 4 names. And one of them was my last name, Aamodt. I've not done like the more common names like Smith, for example, because I could be getting probably hundreds of emails. But when you have a more kind of not a common name, it's great to get those emails from them, because they notify you that someone unfortunately just died, which is actually what I had just found out, that my husband's great aunt had just died like about a week ago, because I had just gotten the email notification from Google Alerts that she had died. And so I got her obituary, and it just was, it's just great. I highly recommend that, because you can learn things. And I mean, unfortunately, sometimes people are doing something that, they're getting arrested or something, and it's just like, whoa.
Dave Tosch, Executive Director, Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center, and today I'm with Hal Turner, long-term board member and member of the Senior Center. I think 10 years of service on the board at least. Served as a director for several years and then 2 terms as chairman of the board. Working with Hal has been a really, really great pleasure, and for a lot of reasons. Hal's background was in the Idaho state government, quite a bit of it anyway, and had a lot of financial experience in the government, which has really helped us a lot here at the Senior Center. His advice and counsel has been, like I say, it's been very helpful to me and to the Senior Center. So Hal, you've been in the Valley, living here well over 10 years. What brought you to the Wenatchee Valley?
Well, I guess the main thing was that we wanted to be a little closer to family. I had 2 daughters living in Seattle, and my wife Jean had 2 sisters, and so we wanted to get a little closer to them so that we weren't so far away, because it's a long drive up here from Idaho, about 10 hours, and we got tired of making that run. So we moved to Kashmir and then later moved to Wenatchee.
Well, actually, you're just down the street. Well, not down the street, you're up the hill on Maple Street on the other side of Western, and I know I joke around a little bit about it, but you could actually skateboard down here for coffee in the mornings if you wanted to.
If I could, yes.
But you don't.
Yeah.
Hal's passion is golf, and he plays several times a week, and he has actually been helping my wife Luann with her golf game. You want to say a few words about that?
Well, yes. I've had a lot of fun with Luann playing golf, and belong to a golf course that's about 7 miles from here, and I guess I'd say I'm 88 years old and I'm still playing golf, and that's my passion.
Well, I know it's been helpful. I've been out golfing with you a few times, and with your experience, kind of keep us well, you know, good golf game. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So when you first came to the Senior Center, it was before I arrived,
Yes.
and you got involved with the board almost immediately.
Well, not quite. We came here in 2008. We moved here, and I think in 2009, I think we joined the Senior Center, and from that point on, we've been pretty active. I've been more active than Jean, and that Jean was a volunteer for the Humane Society, and I did my volunteering here, and we were used to volunteering because we did a lot of it in Idaho. So that's how I got connected with the board. Then somebody suggested I should run for election in 2000, I forgot the year now. I think it was 13. And I ran and got reelected as a director, and then I got elected as board chairman for 4 years, and I am the past chairman of the board.
Yeah. And so I know your wife, Jean, you mentioned her volunteering. She also has participated in our exercise program.
Oh, yes. Yeah. She's very active in the exercise program, and she loves that. And the program is good. And it's like so many other programs here. They're all good. And we're very impressed with this Senior Center.
So memory serves me, I think she was involved in aerobics and also yoga.
Yes, she was aerobics and yoga. Yeah, that's right.
In the mornings.
Yes.
So saw her quite often while we were open.
You're right. Yeah.
So I think I remember you telling me the story about how you took on the project of building a new parking lot here at the center. You want to talk a few minutes about your experience with that?
Yes, I was appointed, I don't know what year, I've forgotten right now, but I was appointed as committee chairman in charge of the parking lot. And so renovation, or actually construction. And I worked with the engineers and the designers, and we got that done. And about that time, Dave got here, you got here, and you jumped right in and you helped clean it up and get everything ready to have cars out there. We have 78 spaces, and it's really added to this senior center.
Yeah, when I arrived, it was in July of, what year was that? 2013. And I think the second day I was here, I heard all this rumbling outside. And I think, you know, I looked out there, and here were these road graders and all this heavy equipment back there putting in the 5/8 minus, or whatever they call that stuff, to put the asphalt on. And, you know, we had quite a little project going right off the bat.
That's right.
And so, you know, you were a big help to us getting that thing completed. And like I say, I'm not sure how we got along without it, because that gave us an extra 78
spaces,
yeah.
And there was nothing out there but dirt.
Yeah, so really a big project that you were able to get accomplished. So I know that we did a lot together. When you were chair, we got a whole lot done.
Yeah, thank you.
We got a new roof on the building.
That's right.
We raised all the money for that, and a lot of other projects as well. What was your sense of accomplishment with regard to all of that? I mean, as a volunteer, and you're giving up your time and, you know, committing quite a bit of time and effort. What was your reward through all that?
My reward to that was to see people happy in here and enjoying the senior center. The senior center was a great place for seniors to congregate. And we had 1,900 members when you got here. I think that was after you got here, but you got this membership up, and you did a lot of good things to improve the senior center. And I enjoyed working with the people. I enjoyed working with board members at the time, and I think we've got a very thriving center here, and you've been a good part of that.
Well, I try to remind people of how we're organized, and a lot of people think that because it's this big facility with this big parking lot, that somehow we might be associated with the city or the county or some other government organization, and we're not. We're completely independent of all of that. And which is nice to be independent. Obviously, we enjoy that independence, but it also gives us some real challenges to figure out where the money's going to come from to pay for all of this and maintain it and upkeep. So, you know, it's something that I try to make sure that we remind people periodically that, you know, it takes a lot of volunteers, and it takes some really good board members for me to work with to get all this done. And I truly appreciate the support that you provided, and our good working relationship meant a lot to me.
Well, thank you. I've enjoyed it very much, and I've really enjoyed working with you. When I was on the board, I was with you more than not, and I mean on chairman of the board. And I really enjoyed it. It's just nice to see the progress that's been made, and to see people come in here and happy and having lunch, and it's just a great feeling. And we're really a thriving club, and a lot of that is due to you.